What do you get when a beloved VTuber finds herself the face of controversy off the back of a hiatus for personal reasons due to her interest in a popular video game deemed a problematic purchase by transgender individuals for the alleged discriminatory actions of its creator? I'd say the radicalization of said VTuber's audience due to the monopolization of a situation missing its context by a group of anti-trans individuals who want to capitalize on the situation for attention and social credit. But that's a lot of word vomit to say I'm going to explain the situation to you and hopefully make it make sense. Let's look back on Pikamee Amano's graduation from her VTuber career and the reasons behind said graduation that have been misconstrued out of context to paint an uncharitable representation of people who had justified reasons to be concerned with her actions. This is Pikamee Amano and the radicalization of a VTuber audience. But before I get into all of that, I think it's important to bring up that this video was recorded when I was at the Right Opinion studio, so if anything is wrong with the audio at all, it's his fault and not mine because everything I make is perfect and I've never once made a mistake.
The face of a liar.
Oh. Wait, one sec. I gotta stop the video again. Sorry to interrupt your content again. I wanted to make a quick announcement before this video begins. Don't worry, I'll do my best to keep it short. Recently, you may have noticed I've been stepping up the quality of my content in almost every aspect. A lot of you have been pointing out in the comments that you really enjoy the videos I've been making now, and according to the poll I did with you guys, you much prefer the videos this way. But unfortunately, that left me with a problem. Because these videos are so much more work, even though they're to a much higher quality, I can't release them on the same kind of schedule I used to be able to. So I racked my brain with a solution, and I think I've come to one. I didn't want to be the kind of YouTuber who asks you guys for a ton of money. You guys already support me enough, so instead, I've come up with a great plan. I've removed all of my previous Patreon tiers and created one singular tier for a singular $1 a month. If you choose to donate over there, you can support my content, and if enough people donate, it makes these videos financially viable so that I can produce them on my own schedule and give you guys some really good quality content. But I felt that it wasn't fair to just ask you guys to support me and not give you anything in reward for it, so for a singular $1 a month, these are all of the benefits you will get. A sneak peek into upcoming videos before they release on the channel so that you can get them early. Patreon exclusive content and extra uncut footage from videos that had to be censored to go on YouTube in the first place. Breakdowns of my entire process behind creating videos and guides to how to recreate some of the things I do with my content. Your name being included in the credits of every video. An exclusive Patreon only Discord tier that gives you access to different chats and shows everyone that you've supported the content, and more which you can find out about over on Patreon. So if you would like to support my content, make my videos financially viable, and receive all of the benefits I just laid out, click the link in the description down below, it should be the top link, and give my Patreon a glance. I really appreciate all of the support, and with that being said, I'm really sorry I interrupted this video for so long. This situation started when on February the 10th, 2023, Pikamee Amano announced that she was ending her hiatus for personal reasons and was going to be streaming Hogwarts Legacy. This decision was met with a lot of backlash from people in her audience. For those of you in the audience who have been living under a Harry Potter franchise-sized rock, J.K. Rowling, the creator of the aforementioned franchise, has now had a long and documented history of, let's say, off-color comments towards the transgender community. It really isn't that piping hot a take to say that J.K. Rowling has been controversial for quite a while now surrounding her comments towards transgender people. Her comparison of the trans rights movement to Death Eaters, and her self-identification as a trans-exclusionary radical feminist, her comments are not few and far between, and many people have been quick to call her out for being transphobic. And while I'm not personally going to say that, that's where that sentence ends. I don't want to be sued. But I would say that from the comments J.K. Rowling has made publicly, I believe people are completely within their rights to be concerned about what J.K. Rowling said, and stating that her actions come across as allegedly transphobic is a fair stance. This links back to Pikamee's situation because after Pikamee announced that she was going to be streaming Hogwarts Legacy, she received a lot of backlash from people within her audience. The reason being obvious. Hogwarts Legacy is a game in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter IP, and as such, J.K. Rowling will make profits from any support of this game, whether you promote it on your public platform or just purchase it privately. And I think the people giving Pikamee backlash are justified in their decision. I wouldn't say I personally agree with this approach, but I completely understand why people whose human rights are being debated publicly would be understandably upset when they see a content creator they support playing and promoting a product without a care in the world, whose creator has made public statements attacking the right of the people in question to exist and determining for them whether they should be able to do what they want with their own body. And let me make this clear. I disavow hate and harassment in all of its forms. I think it's very easy to say that I stand with the trans community and understand why they're upset, and also that I disagree with the hate and harassment Pikamee may have received from people who were upset she played this game. Now, as of making this video and after doing extensive research, I have found no evidence so far that proved Pikamee was actually attacked or harassed for playing this game. However, as the people attacking the transgender community right now and discriminating against trans people for Pikamee are claiming that Pikamee was attacked and harassed for playing this game, I thought making the prior statement clear was important. I also don't think it's fair to attack transgender individuals or the transgender community as a whole as a result of some people who may have potentially sent some hate or harassment Pikamee's way. You are justified in criticizing those people. Attacking transgender individuals and their human rights is never justified. Irregardless, I don't think of myself as a politician, so I don't really want to discuss this side of the conversation anymore. I think I've made it clear where my stance lies, and I'm doing my best to keep this video as clear and informative on the information as possible. Following the backlash Pikamee received, she would announce that she is no longer going to stream Hogwarts Legacy, and then would follow up with a comment saying, "I am just a kettle who wants to play the game. Playing the game doesn't mean I'm supporting something specific. I just want to play it, that's all." She would then go on a hiatus until the beginning of March, and announce that she was going to be graduating from her streaming career and would no longer be producing content under the name Pikamee. And it's here where I think context has been cut on this situation so that people could monopolize this situation as some form of a weapon against the transgender community. Because the way this is presented, the way you just heard this, is not reflective of the full story in any capacity. Firstly, the story you were just told cut the context of Pikamee Amano's original hiatus. That context being that the hiatus Pikamee Amano went on before they announced that they would be streaming Hogwarts Legacy was for the sake of her mental health relating to a family member's passing. She was already dealing with personal reasons that would have motivated her to want to graduate and focus on herself. Secondly, Pikamee's graduation was planned quite a while ago and wasn't at all related to the fact she played Hogwarts Legacy. While you could totally argue that potentially this decision was moved forward down the pipeline, it was not the cause behind it. This was always going to happen. These are the public statements made by other people surrounding Pikamee after Pikamee announced that she was graduating, that make it very clear that they were already aware Pikamee was planning to graduate.
ボムズプロジェクトのギャリーと申します。突然このようなお知らせになってしまい、本当に申し訳ございません。で、このイベントに関しては、ピカミー卒業の件をね、あらかじめ丸井さんに共有しまして、ぜひ一緒に送り出したいと言っていただけたので、それで計画を立てて実施しているものとなりますという感じですね。具体的な時期は言わないんですけど、避けるんですけど、実はピカミーとはかなり長い間協議を重ねていまして、卒業すること自体はだいぶ前から決まってました。だいぶ前から。
I did know in advance about this, but because she did message me a while ago before she went on her break, and she said she was like, I wanted to tell you beforehand. So, you know, I felt I don't know, grateful, I guess, that she considered me in telling about it so early.
Next up, reacting, we also have Visharjo's Silverveil, giving us a very interesting reply. Even though I knew this was coming, it hurts so much to see. Again, repeat. Even though I knew this was coming, it hurts so much to see. We love you so much, Pika. Thank you for all the cute kettle laughs and positivity you spread into the world. You deserve better. You've motivated and inspired so many. I hope you find happiness in your next adventure.
But despite it not being the case that Pikamee Amano was graduating because of harassment received from her streams of Hogwarts Legacy, with this decision being entirely planned beforehand, this discussion has been entirely capitalized upon by people who were looking for an opportunity to attack the transgender community already, and saw it as the perfect opportunity to take advantage of an audience of people who were sad and needed someone to vent their frustrations on, making those people no better than the people they're supposedly mad at for harassing Pikamee. Harassing trans people and going after the trans community in response does not make you any better than the people who allegedly attacked and harassed Pikamee. I feel like that's not an extreme stance. Unfortunately, that hasn't stopped the widespread hatred from people within this community who are now attacking transgender individuals. Like this tweet, which received a ton of support before it was removed from the platform, which read, "Do your part for Pikamee," and showed an image of Pikamee pouring fire out of a gas canister. It would have exploded if the fire was going up the the gas, showing Pikamee pouring gas fire onto a trans flag. And I don't really think it takes a genius to figure out that this is an obvious call for hate and harassment and isn't acceptable in any capacity. I don't think that just because you're upset your favorite content creator is quitting, it justifies wishing death or harm upon a minority group and everyone within it for no reason other than because you're mad at some people in that community. Woo! Crazy hot take, I know. You can probably guess what happened next, but I'm gonna tell you regardless. Then all of the anti-woke losers, for lack of a better term, came out in full force, using this as the perfect opportunity to capitalize upon this situation, use Pikamee as a martyr, and use this situation as a talking point to spread anti-trans rhetoric. Like is seen in the videos, woke freaks call VTuber Pikamee a liar, and woke freaks get VTuber Pikamee to quit the internet over Hogwarts Legacy. I really love the buff Greta Thunberg in the thumbnail as well. I don't really know where that's happening, but fuck it, whatever. If it benefits your talking points, you might as well, right? The effect the quartering has had on YouTube videos is irreparable, dude. Anyway, as of releasing this video, it would appear Pikamee has already graduated, and I don't really think there's much more in this situation to talk about. Some other VTubers came under fire for playing Hogwarts Legacy, but none of those situations were really extremely interesting, so I thought it was important to focus specifically on the Pikamee situation, and how I think a certain narrative has been spun surrounding it that is incredibly malicious and has been used to send hate and harassment towards a minority group that doesn't deserve it. With that being said, I'm HarleyTBS, lounging around in my room and talking about whatever interests me. This video has been in the works for way too long and I needed to get it finished. You can check out my Patreon to get previews of videos early and all the other benefits as previously mentioned in the link in the description down below. Subscribe to the channel, follow my Twitter, you know all that jazz. And with that being said...
What the fuck are you doing in here?
Well, you see...
what the fuck are you doing in my house? Who are you?
See you next video!